The Oklahoma Design for America studio resides at the University of Oklahoma, a vibrant community with hundreds of competition teams, interdisciplinary clubs, and academic societies. Our studio hopes to fill a creative design niche by bringing together students from diverse backgrounds to try to tackle today's biggest challenges. To this effect, we've assembled an interdisciplinary team of student engineers, businessmen, designers, and thinkers dedicated to building the future and making an impact on the local community. As the only Design for America studio in the American heartland, we have a unique opportunity to pursue projects and gain insights on issues that many may not even know exist. Our current tornado shelter project is a great example of this effect. On May 22, 2011, an EF5 tornado struck Joplin, Missouri, injuring 1,150, killing 158, and flattening 20 square miles of homes and businesses. That same year, there were 1,704 reported tornadoes that killed 553 people. With this in mind, we had only one question: how can we help improve safety during tornado strikes? We started by trying to better understand our problem. We spoke with professional meteorologists and members of the local community to gain insight on what solutions were already out there and where they were lacking.
I feel like the biggest problem, the biggest people's fear, and a lot of people die during tornadoes because when houses get taken or when they get destroyed, they collapse and they're in their shelters and no one can find them. They don't know who's still in the house, who left.
And it's scary to think of just the uncertainty and not knowing and not having a plan.
During the tornadoes last year, the one that went through North Norman, I was in the shelter, and some cell phone carriers can get into there, but others can't.
We wanted to design a solution that would help give relatives and emergency personnel up-to-date information on rapidly developing situations, even in the chaos before a storm. Hence, we developed StormShelter. StormShelter is based around a simple idea. Whenever a shelter is locked, a database is updated telling emergency personnel that a resident has taken shelter. Once the storm passes and the shelter is unlocked, the database is updated again, telling emergency personnel which shelters have vacated. This leaves rescue workers with a list of shelters that are in need of assistance. The great thing about the solution is that it works no matter the conditions. Even if cell towers are knocked down, a house collapses, or the device is destroyed, you can rest easy knowing that someone knows you're trapped and is coming to get you. We've partnered with Software Studio, an on-campus organization focused on software development and student entrepreneurship, to get feedback on our early prototypes and to help bring our designs to life. After a second round of interviews and some user testing, we began working on implementation. We completed the architecture for the database, decided on the hardware for the device, and talked with several engineers to determine what material should be used for the shielding. We are currently looking to partner with a local fire department to test the prototype for a system, as well as beginning talks with several shelter installation companies to see if they'd be willing to bundle our product with their shelter. Going forward, we have a number of improvements we're hoping to implement based on user feedback, including a help button, an emergency radio, as well as two-way communication. If all goes well, we hope to have our fully functional prototype by May, with full implementation following soon after.
Our second project came out of an idea from the workshop. How can we help coordinate volunteers during a tornado strike?
Because I know that whenever we responded and we went and tried to help people, they were just always there's hundreds of people that we don't know if they're in their house, did they left and went to a shelter, or they stayed there, and so they don't know where to look, they don't know how to look.
After some thought, we eventually came up with a solution for this issue: ResponderAlert. Before a storm, potential volunteers can put their name into a database along with relevant information, such as first aid and first responder training. Then, when a storm hits, professional emergency workers will be able to contact relevant persons through a text-based notification system to assist with rescue efforts. While we had other ideas on how to confront this issue, ranging from temporary signs to telephone trees, ResponderAlert had a major advantage in terms of implementation. While we've been going through the application process, a parallel group has been working on our first independent project, PatientAlert. PatientAlert is a system that uses text notification to relay information to patients, such as delays in adjusted schedules. Because many of the systems in PatientAlert and ResponderAlert are highly similar, we're able to develop a working prototype of ResponderAlert incredibly quickly. With a functional prototype of both systems, our next step is to reach out to emergency responders and hospitals to see which solution is best to continue moving forward with.
StormShelter and ResponderAlert have allowed us to take root on campus and branch out to the larger community. We're looking forward to continuing on these projects as our studio continues to grow and evolve. We would like to thank Software Studio, Dr. Antonio, Jeff Meyer, and Berkeley Twice for helping us bring this dream to life.